Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm in the parking lot of a Mexican restaurant here about at midnight getting my dinner. My dinner got pushed off a little bit. First thing I wanted to say is I wanted to say thank you to every single person that showed up to the meetup that we did tonight at Trillium Beer Gallery in Boston. It went really well. I've never had this many people show up. There had to be at least 50 people that showed up. We got a lot of talking done. We got a lot of interesting conversations, and I gave out a bunch of cards to a lobbying event that I'm organizing 2 months from now. One thing I've noticed is that usually what I do is I just show up to a state legislature hearing and, I don't really give people much notice. And now I'd like to give them 2 months notice and prep people and really get people interested and excited to show up so it's not just me. So tonight's meetup went great. I really enjoyed speaking with a lot of you. I got to apologize. I did leave a little early and abruptly. Something happened and I wanted to explain it. A lot of you showed up to see me, so I feel like I kind of owe you an explanation here. So there's a person that is on Erica's channel in her chat from time to time, Erica being my girlfriend. And he was, he would kind of leave these diggish comments from time to time, just kind of digging at me and whatnot. I didn't really think much of it. Then he started sending her these letters, like he was trying to get rid of a rash on her arm at one point, and he started saying, please, I can't sleep until I know the status of your rash. I need to know what's going on with your arm. It's kind of weird. It turned into love letters. It turned into him saying, you're sending me signals, Erica. That turned into him figuring out where she lives, where her parents live, their phone number, and calling them. We decided, okay, let's look up the name of this person, because he sent it to us, and apparently he has disobeyed restraining orders and protective orders before in his home area, and there are police reports for that. So we wound up speaking to the police there, and one of the things I found interesting is apparently at one point he was going door to door looking for Erica in a town over 1,000 miles away from where we live. Someone showed up to this meetup. It was kind of acting a little funny, strange, weird. Had her feeling kind of weird. I walk up to Erica because I'm just kind of wondering, why are you asking this guy for his ID over and over again? And then it clicks, because she recorded his phone call and I knew his voice. In that moment, I knew exactly who I was speaking to. I was speaking to a man that traveled almost 1,000 miles to creep out my girlfriend. And at that point, I asked that he leave. And then I asked that he leave in a manner that was a little bit more assertive. And then he left. And I sat there. For about a minute. And I thought, he doesn't really seem to get the message from the last few times we sent it. Let's try to make sure that he gets the message this time. So I left to speak to him, and after our talk, I did not come back to the bar. Somebody actually traveled 1,000 miles who thinks that my girlfriend is sending him signals in his stream in spite of saying, I do not want contact with you, who has repeatedly sent her love letters and showed up in person to creep her out. Now, I just want to say thank you very much to the kind folks at US Perg for being there in the moment and for suggesting that it would be a good idea if I simply kept it to me yelling at him rather than me touching him. That was excellent advice, and I'm glad that it was advice that I followed. But I did not go back after that because I was not in the mood to go back after that. It was kind of close to the end of the meetup at that point. So there may be a few of you that I did not see. There is unfortunately a dark side to creating content on YouTube. It's not the shitty comment section. It's not it's not just the shitty comment section or like the toll it can take on your mental health at times, as Eli the computer guy has talked about before in detail in some good videos he's done on the subject. The real dark side of YouTube is when people start saying, you're sending me signals through the screen. I know you're sending me signals through the screen. They start going door to door looking for you, and then they actually show up to try and creep you out in person after you've made it very fucking clear that you are not sending signals to them. And what makes me feel really bad here is that it didn't happen to me. It's happening to my girlfriend as a result of the fact that she has chosen to be with me instead of with somebody else. If she was dating somebody that did not have a YouTube channel with 1.6 million subscribers, she likely would not have been filing police reports in 3 different states against a stalker. But unfortunately, that is what things have come to. So I just wanted to explain myself. I want to apologize because a lot of you probably saw me screaming, "Get the fuck out of here," and pointing while I was in this dude's face, and then saw that I left, and you probably wonder, what the hell happened? Why did he do that? Why is he not sitting and talking with us like Right to Repair? Just a moment ago, he was having conversations with someone about New Hampshire and property taxes and ownership of devices and all sorts of other fun, interesting things that we talk about in the channel, and then he was gone. And I just wanted to let you know it wasn't because I wasn't enjoying the time that we were spending together. It wasn't because I wasn't enjoying our conversations. It wasn't because I wanted to be a dick and just leave with no notice. It was because somebody showed up from 1,000 miles away who thinks that my girlfriend is sending him signals through the computer screen that she wants him in some way. And if I showed you, like, there's so many 2-page letters. When she doesn't respond to the 2-page letter, he sends a 4-page letter. When he doesn't respond to the 4-page letter, he sends a 6-page letter. And it just goes on and on and on. And there was a line that got drawn when he started calling up her parents, figuring out where she lives, all this other sick shit. And then, like, once we looked up, and it's like, oh, there's someone with your name that disobeys protective orders and restraining orders. Yeah, again, we had spoken with the police in that town. We really just kind of thought this was going to be something on screen or over the phone. He showed up in person, and I'll be honest, I lost my shit. Not happy at the fact that I lost my shit. I absolutely lost my shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, man, and never do this shit again. And so we're going to be filing yet another one with the Boston Police Department, and we'll see what happens from there. So I'm going to go back in. I think that my California burrito may be ready now, and I am going to enjoy the rest of my evening. I hope to see you all at the in Boston and November 6th on the lobbying date that was on the card that I gave you all. It was a pleasure speaking with you all. It was a pleasure talking with you all, and I hope to be able to do these meetups more often. I was doing them in Florida, and I stopped a little prematurely because I had gotten news that my ex-employee had passed away, and I knew I was just not in the mood to meet with a bunch of people, and I just would have been an absolutely piece of shit bastard to talk to at that point. So I decided to stop. And then, I started doing them again with the workshops I was doing. We're going to be doing more workshops at this makerspace once I finish up a deal that I'm doing with them, a grant, so for them to get the equipment necessary to do the soldering workshops that I was doing. And we may do more when I get back. But yeah, this kind of stuff sucks. And I guess it comes with the territory. I don't know if I have the right to bitch about it because, I could have just deleted my channel once I got over, 40,000 or 50,000 subscribers, but I didn't. I kept posting shit, it kept growing, and I guess this is the kind of shit that you're kind of asking for if you have a channel with 1.6 million subscribers and you put in your community page, I'm here on this day. Anybody that wants to show up, just show up. But it's just really weird when people start saying the signals, you're sending me signals through the computer, and they figure out where your fucking parents live and start calling them, and they show up in person and follow your girlfriend around and say how beautiful they are. Oh man. It takes restraint sometimes, and I'm glad that at least it ended the way it did. And that's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I hope this place has a good burrito. I really do. It's the only place that's open at midnight in this part of Massachusetts. See y'all later.